one.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Carnage Candy. I'm Greyson. This is Shaun, and today we have a review of Stay Alive. If you don't know what Stay Alive is, it's the movie about the video game to where if you die in the video game, you die in real life.
You die in the game, you die in real life.
It is.
I actually have that tattooed across my back.
You should. I have it tattooed across my stomach just so that I can really show it off whenever I want. But this is probably, it might be the most ridiculous 2000 horror movie ever made.
It is such a 2000 movie.
It is. It is a movie that the writer and director, William Brent Bell, and Matthew Peterman also helped write it. You could tell that they sat down and went, hey, video games are popular. We know gamers.
Yeah.
So we're going to write this script and we're going to throw out some stuff that gamers are going to understand.
You think? Yeah, I mean, only the most self-assured person who knew that they knew gamers could have made this movie.
Yeah.
And the reason I say it like that is because I don't think anyone who played games would have touched this script.
No.
I think if anybody knew gamers, they would have never made this movie in the first place. And I think that's why it's so special.
Yeah, I agree. So if you don't follow our Twitch channel, we also have a Twitch channel called Hang Time. You should come check us out sometime. The only reason why we're talking about this movie right now is that my girlfriend thought that this movie was an actual video game, to the point where it took us an hour to figure out what she was talking about.
Yeah, she had this strange memory of 6 strangers that went into a haunted castle together, and they all died. But then she also remembered there was specifically a mailbox out front. So us in the chat, we spent 45 minutes trying to guess what game she was talking about. And there's a big twist ending. She wasn't talking about a game at all.
Nope, she was talking about this movie, which is why we're talking about it right now. And I'm glad we are, because I had a great time watching this. For as trashy and as bad as a film that it is, I had an amazing time. So if you don't know what Stay Alive is, I can sum it up pretty quick.
Okay.
Our main character, named Hutch, his best friend ends up dying to an underground video game.
An underground video game, okay.
Called Stay Alive.
Let's make sure and remember to come back to underground video games here in a second.
So Hutch ends up getting the video game and shows it off to his friends, and they create the craziest LAN party I've ever seen in my life, with the most obscure amounts of televisions that are around.
It's like somebody told the director what a LAN party is, but they explained it incorrectly.
Completely incorrectly.
And then the director was like, cool, I'll just film them doing what I was told secondhand and incorrectly.
So as the friends are playing, they realize that they have to read a script to kick off the video game, which then curses them all, and they
voice
have to do it.
and when they read it, Frankie Muniz is like, voice activated technology, that's only next generation stuff. Yep.
Frankie Muniz is your smart character of the movie. They all read it. One of the friends ends up dying, which then clues them into, if you die in the video game, you die in real life. That is the entire premise of the movie. There is some other stuff that is thrown in there that's kind of hardcore, like the main character's family dying in a horrible fire that his father set up. It comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it is a really, really sad scene. But other than that, this movie gets lost very quickly.
And yeah, so we have Loomis, who is our first game player.
Yes.
He is Hutch's best friend. And at the beginning, it tries to establish these really goofy rules of he sees ghosts in the game, and there's like a ghost lady behind him, and the video game. And if we would have seen this when it came out, like in, what was it, 03?
04?
Yeah, 06, excuse me.
Wow.
If you would have watched this in 06, you would have sat in the theaters opening night and thought, this is going to age horribly. It already looks kind of bad, even for right now. So, 20 years later, of course, it's aged even worse. So they have like this fake video game and all this crap. And Loomis dies in the game by hanging. And then, of course, he goes upstairs to visit his friends, and there's a creepy guy in a pig mask having sex hardcore with his girlfriend.
Yeah, and the other weird thing about it is Loomis doesn't move. He just kind of stands there in the doorway for a little bit, staring, and then he goes, "Hey, are y'all still playing the video game?" So there's like a couple of seconds of just dead air.
Yeah.
And them all just staring at each other.
Yeah,
and then it goes into it.
When we get this kind of conversation about like how gamers talk to each other, especially hardcore survivor horror video games, we have Loomis calling Hutch to invite him over to play this game, Stay Alive, and they immediately like ramble about it's like put Silent Hill to shame.
They say that Loomis says this is the scariest game I've played since. Oh my gosh, what is it? Fatal Frame.
Yeah.
He said it's the scariest game I've played since Fatal Frame. You've got to see this. And Hutch says that he won't be able to do it now, but he'll come over this weekend. And they end the conversation by saying, not goodbye, not I'll talk to you later, just saying late. They completely dumb it down to just saying late. And then hang up the phone.
No, I did not realize.
Oh, I picked up on a lot of this kind of stuff.
That's like cut.
It is bad.
Yeah. So, of course, Loomis dies by hanging as does in the game. Hutch goes back to his funeral.
Mm-hmm.
This is not before we meet Hutch's boss, who's played by
Adam Goldberg.
the guy from Sopranos.
Oh, is he?
I don't know if he's in Sopranos or not, but he seems like he would be.
I know him from Dazed and Confused. He's one of the friends in Dazed and Confused.
That's exactly right. But again, we get this weird gamer lingo because it's like the director writer, they Googled a couple of games that they had played before.
This is where they talk about Silent Hill.
Yeah. So he walks in and his boss is like, serious information time. How do you beat the boss in Silent Hill? And he's like, you have to get the Hyper Blaster if you want to beat the boss. He's like, I have the Hyper Blaster. He's like, yeah, but the Hyper Blaster actually makes the game harder, so you put the Hyper Blaster down and you just in-game it natty, bro. Oh my God. So I was working out while I played this on my tonal, right? So I had a phone holder suction cupped to my tonal, and it actually worked really well. And
nice.
So I'm doing front squats, and I'm like, no, God. So I'm in physical pain with every discussion they have about video games, and just listening to these buzzwords that, again, this is like so indicative that gamers would not have made this movie at all. Using the word Hyper Blaster is like,
it hurts.
it hurts a lot.
It hurts. It's the best way to put it.
That's a good pain. It's physical pain to know that this is a movie about video games made by non-gamers. And how did you think about like? I had a thought around this time, very early on, where I was like, what movies did they pass up on for this? Like, how sad are the mid-2000s?
I thought about it a lot too. I thought about that with the director.
Yeah.
I thought, how many scripts did he look at before he got to this one, only to realize he wrote it.
Yeah, which is weird because he made The Devil Inside, which I don't think is that bad.
It's okay.
It's a fine possession movie.
The Boy is supposed to be really good.
I have seen
Orphan First Kill.
The Boy is a quality horror movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty dang good. So, but yeah, so it's very funny that these friends start to play the video game because his boss plays with them remotely at the LAN party on Stay Alive. That they only need one copy to play.
Yeah, they don't ever really explain it that much. They just kind of get the game and load up into a LAN party and start it up.
Because logistically, it's like, okay, this is crap.
It's possible to do it with one game, but it's I get what you're saying.
It's like if the LAN party was running their remote server and then he logged in. But the game doesn't seem that bad. I mean, I would have played it.
If they would have put out a game to correspond with this movie, I would have played it.
So the game sets up the rules with Loomis, right? Of how they kind of invade your universe. We'll see quickly that it abandons all these rules.
Very fast.
Yeah. But the game is kind of cool. You throw down roses to keep yourself safe from ghosts. Yep. There's a scene where they're using dual nail guns on all these demon kids.
Everything's going crazy. They're all sweating at one point, and they're all nervous about what's going on.
Frankie Nunez has gun range.
The biggest headphones you've ever seen in your life.
He has Air Pilot quality headphones. Just sheer idiocy. Yep. But our boy... Goldberg, the boss, he gets into a secret sanctum and he gets killed. He gets stabbed in the neck by our villain, who's a crazy plantation lady who was exploiting
the Countess.
Yeah, the Countess who's exploiting children. So, lo and behold, the next day we find out that he has died in real life.
In the same way that he died in the game.
So, at this point, Hutch has already been to Loomis's funeral.
Yes.
We have met, we've met Foster.
We've met Abigail, Swink, Phineas, Miller, October, and I do believe that's it at the moment.
Yeah, so we have...
Abigail shows up at the funeral with that big camera.
Yeah, Abigail is a girl who was kind of with Loomis or knew Loomis, and then she's taking pictures of people at the funeral. So the five that were at the land party, we quickly learned through Hutch going to work that his boss and friend is dead. And the cops are kind of like, okay, that's two people, dying in like 2 days.
You have Detective Thibodeau, who is played by Wendell Pierce, who was in The Wire.
He's
also in Jack Ryan.
Yep.
He's in a lot. His career is blowing up right now. But he is questioning Hutch, and he's kind of playing good cop, bad cop with his partner, because he's saying, hey, you've been to 2 funerals. You say you were playing with your friends, but y'all were only 10 minutes away, so that could put you at the scene of the crime.
Yeah, you could get to his office. Yeah. And I was actually kind of happy that the movie was putting that together so quickly, because I thought they would probably ignore that. But it was nice that they had some sense in being like, Hutch could have murdered this guy.
The only ridiculous part is Thibodeau says that to him. Then his partner Rex says that makes you a prime suspect. Only for Thibodeau to turn around and be like, don't say that. We don't know anything yet. So Thibodeau starts off the conversation accusing him of it, only to like back him up. Be like, no. You didn't do anything. It's okay. Here's my card.
Yeah.
It's a really awkward scene.
Yeah. His partner the guy from The Outsiders? I thought it was. I could have sworn it was him. And the original Hitcher.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like.
It's funny you say that, because Sophia Bush is in the Hitcher remake.
So our friends, our group of friends from the land party, like they're already like, they're not dumb. They kind of put it together that like the game's a little fishy. But our boy, who's our number one stoner piehead, who's played by Foster from Westworld, he's kind of like gung-ho about everything, and he's kind of wild, and he says, he just says like really messed up stuff all the time. And this is like we're only 2 kills out of like 7 or 6 or 7 gamers in, and the movie just completely disintegrates.
Oh, let's see, there's the 2 roommates, the best friend, so that's 3 at the beginning. And then the boss. So, we're 4 in at this point.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, 4 bodies in. I'm just talking about in these group of friends, it's like the movie, any rules it's set with Loomis, any rules it's set with the boss, it just completely disintegrates. And it's really disappointing, because it'd be like if in Candyman or in any other kind of rule set, or if in Smile 2, or it's just like the rules are just like, I don't know. And so you completely lose track of when is playing the game putting them in danger.
Exactly.
I have no idea if it's like, do they need to be engaged with the game to be, it's like summoning the ghosts into reality, or like, are they just going crazy from playing the game? Is it some kind of weird commentary? And I got, as disappointed as I was, it got even worse as the movie kind of slogged on. Each character has this little backstory, and Hutch has his fire trauma that kind of comes back in the end. But like the PG-13 rating mixed with these really dopey video game graphics and its complete lack of rules, like it just spirals completely out of control.
They could have fixed it. All they had to do, honestly, was say, hey, if you are not playing the video game, you will see the ghosts constantly. You have to play to get them away from you. But if you die, that's it. So it puts that tension on you of if you're outside of the video game, you're being haunted. But if you're inside of the video game, you could be killed.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do.
They could have established this only way out is through.
Yes.
And yeah, I think
they never do.
I think that would have been way more interesting because, again, like you might be asking yourself, like right now, it's like, cool, I won't play the game. And that's what could have happened.
Yeah.
Like there's no rules that they have set in this movie to where any of these people could have just put the game down.
Because whenever Phineas, the main gamer of the group, Phineas gets to a point in the game, he's playing by himself while everybody else is investigating the murders. He gets to a point where he pauses it because he's about to die. He does not die.
Yeah.
Reiterate this. He does not die in the game. He has paused it. He sees in his mirror cracks, and he flicks it over to the silver side and realizes that it affects the Countess in the game.
Yes. She is weak to seeing herself, basically.
After that happens, there's another scene to where they're all meeting up whenever they figure out what's going on. Phineas's car breaks down, and then he's killed by a carriage. He does not die in the game.
Yes.
Ever. He does not die. But they kill him anyway. So the rules, like you said, are out the window. You don't know why.
You pause the game, you die in real life. That is so crazy.
They try to fix this.
You think the script is trying to fix this?
No, they literally
or
try
the
to
characters
fix it in the movie. Like they have dialogue that is basically them saying, okay, the game is always going, no matter what.
Yeah, then why did it show him pausing?
Exactly. Only for them to contradict themselves later on, which we will get to here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But Phineas dies, the detectives show up again. They have every right to be suspicious at this moment. That's 3 deaths, which all 3 of them Hutch is there, and this group. So yeah, pretty suspicious.
Yep.
Hutch tries to explain to the cops, hey, if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the best way to put this.
Hutch goes,
line.
I love the line where he goes, this is gonna sound crazy.
Yeah, that's a great thing to say to the cops right off the bat. So he explains to Thibodeau what's going on, and while he's talking to Thibodeau, Detective King, who's also with Thibodeau, it wasn't Rex. Rex is a different character. I don't know who that is that I said earlier. I thought that was the detective, but it's not. But Detective King is with Frankie Muniz's character and makes his own character in the game.
Yep.
Dies immediately in the game.
Yep.
And then gets mad at these kids making up this false narrative, basically. Understandable once again. You understand everything that these cops are dealing with because it's a bunch of crazy kids who they're pretty sure is a cult going around killing people with this video game.
Yeah. And they're potheads too.
Yeah, I mean, they there's a lot of red flags going on here. They're also in this big Astro van as well, driving around.
Yeah.
So you get done with all that,
and our cop is going to take his investigation on his own. After he dies in the game, he's going to go to GameStop right now.
And it's just, they have like the weirdest person you could ever cast as the store clerk, and it's very awkward between the two.
The store clerk is without a doubt a non-gamer's really dumb and messed up interpretation of what a store clerk at a game store would be.
Yeah.
He's got crazy hair and he's so elite, and he talks to the cop. He's like, I don't know what Stay Alive is. It must be an underground game. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I got to be honest. I know that our audience might know about games, but I'll be frank. I have never heard of or played an underground game. Have you? You might have a different experience. There's like
I don't
Kaizo
know.
Mario
I don't
and
know about Underground, but I've played,
ROM
like
hacks and
ROM
stuff.
hacks, and then whenever I guess Faith was first coming out, it was like an independent game.
Yeah.
So-
But did anybody ever hand you a game they personally made?
No,
Yeah, I
never.
don't. It's not like I'm like, cool, that's not a thing. But
No.
you're gonna scare the hell out of parents taking their kids to see this PG-13 gamer movie, aren't you? And it's just like the store is just traumatized. They got Area 51 boxes up and stuff.
It was awesome.
That's the one that David Duchovny and Marilyn Manson.
That's an awesome game.
It is. But the cop is like, okay, you don't know what Stay Alive is, huh? Okay. And I love the fact that the store clerk does not know what Stay Alive is, because I got some news for you at the ending.
Yeah, I know.
The cop gets in his F-150 and then his head explodes inside the car.
Which then cuts,
And it's from far away, and
Yeah.
it's so PG-13 and frustrating.
at least you get the blood splatter.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So that kicks into, they're all separated again. You've got Hutch with Abigail, and you've got Swink with October. And October and Swink have found out that there's some kind of backstory to the Countess, and they're starting to pick up on how it's like a ritual and everything going on. Cops are coming. Of course they should be, because another person is dead. So they're showing up. They all escape, and they meet up at Hutch's best friend Loomis's house from the beginning.
Where the crime scene was, and the blood on the walls.
This is where the video game is playing all the time is happening. They look over at the laptop that Swink has, and they notice that the game is playing all by itself, and it's showing October's character outside being stalked by the Countess. And man, there could have been so many cool kills if this would have been rated R.
I know.
Like-
And I think, again, it's like they've broken their rules a third time. Not only are you safe if you shut off the game, but you aren't safe if you pause the game either. Also, they're not even playing the game, and they're in trouble.
Yes.
Because the game automatically plays for them. So, again, it's not pause the game and you die in real life. It's play the game once and then never play it again and you die in real life.
Yep.
I don't know if this is a post-Ring issue, or if this is, again, the symptoms of mid to late 2000s horror can be blamed on just about anything, but I don't know why it's so directionless. And this stalking of October could have been one of the coolest kills, like you're saying.
It really could have. It takes place in a house that is being built, so there's a lot of tools and everything around, and October does the classic horror movie trope, sees something in the window, goes in. She's mad already as it is because Phineas, her brother, is dead. And she wants to get revenge, so she thinks that she can take it out on the Countess. There was a thing that she read, if you put 3 nails in the body and then catch them on fire, you can kill it. So she's going to try to do it on her own.
Burning the blood is
And
how
burning
you
the blood after
vanquish
it's
the
over
spirit.
with,
Yeah.
yes. So she goes in there to try to do it. And I will be honest, I was kind of surprised that they got rid of October.
She was definitely like the audience's favorite character.
I didn't expect that. I thought she was going to be all the way to the end.
Because our other girl Abigail does not have final girl energy.
At all.
She is lazily written, even
I will
worse
say
acted.
this. I think in the original script, and I could be wrong, I think that they were going to have her be the villain. Because it gives tones of her being a part of it so much throughout this
You are
movie.
constantly waiting for Abigail to be
Yes.
the granddaughter of the Countess.
She's always giving weird looks and kind of looking at the camera in a menacing way and doing all this stuff.
and taking pictures of people
And
at
taking
funerals.
pictures. Yes. So it is very odd this whole time. So you are waiting for her to be there.
You're also waiting for her to be the villain because you're waiting for the connector to make an old plantation ghost be able to make a video game.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, cool. Well, she's a descendant and she's a game programmer. And that's why she feigns being a gamer. And And it's like, okay, cool. She's the current day connection.
Yep.
And yeah, I finished the movie. I actually had to go back and reread the Wikipedia article because I thought maybe like I was doing some goblet squats or something when I missed when it revealed that she made the game. But she didn't make the game. But I thought that was information.
Oh no, she did?
No.
I was about to go back and have to rewatch the film.
I'm saying I was so convinced that she made the video game for the Countess that I was like, cool. I was just assuming that the whole time. So I was like, that I must have missed it when I was working out. But no, like she's just there.
Yeah.
To be there.
The big surprise is everything she's told the group is a lie.
Yeah.
She's living out of her car and she's struggling. That's the big reveal at the end.
Yeah.
After everybody is pretty much gone except for Hutch, Swink, and Abigail, she reveals this.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, that's not is this a secret? I don't. Yeah, it's okay.
It's
just
very
say I
odd.
live in my van.
Yeah.
Like it's not. There are worse things than
There
you're living
are.
in your big Astro van.
Yep.
It's not that you're a young kid. It's okay.
This final part of the movie is so bad, it's almost laughable.
Yes.
They come up with a plan to get to the plantation where all this took place at.
Yeah.
They have the address. They go there. Swink decides he's going to stay back and keep playing the game to be a distraction, a decoy to help them out, while Hutch and Abigail go into the house to find out who created this game, because somebody had to make it. I really do think that a lot of this movie got cut out because it doesn't make any sense at this point. They go into the house. There's a motorcycle when they first show up, which makes you think somebody's made this game, and they're in the house. So there is a motorcycle that is there. All the electricity in the house is on.
Some young hip guy found the plantation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something is happening here. They start searching the house. Abigail is upstairs. Hutch is downstairs. They get separated. While Swink is on the phone talking to him, Swink realizes the game is a map for the actual house.
Yeah, and he kind of runs recon here.
He does, which is a cool idea. I do think it's neat that they use it like that. I don't, however, think it's neat that whatever Swink does in the game happens in reality as well. So
Because you could exploit that to
yes,
just
a lot.
yeah. So it's like cool if Slink can just use the game to make stuff happen in real life. Why not just set the house on fire?
Yes, and end it all. Why not do a billion different things?
Again, those rule sets. There are no rules.
Abigail ends up getting in trouble, of course. So Swink is helping Hutch find Abigail. Abigail went to a secret room. The Countess has shown up and starting to stalk Abigail. Swink tells Hutch where to go. Hutch realizes that the only door to go through is locked and he needs something to go through. Swink has a crowbar in his hand in the game and drops it, and it pops up in reality for Hutch to use.
Hutch is like, oh, nice.
Thanks. Not freaked out at this at all, which I guess a video game's already killing people, so I understand why it's not that weird, but it's still a moment to where he should be kind of confused that it's happening.
Yeah, I was really excited because like, okay, cool. He's gonna drop 50 roses to him. The roses that vanquish all ghosts in the area. Basically ghost grenades. I was like, cool. Get in that game, take all your rose inventory and dump it right at Hutch's feet and let's get out of here.
Nope.
Easy.
You wish that happened. They save Abigail. Swink is happy about it. But oh no, the van that Swink is playing his video game out of, the doors close and lock him out. But it's okay, because Swink busts out a window and gets in to save himself just in time. Or did he? No, he doesn't, because the Countess is somehow on him again. He even says a line that says, bitch, you're cheating. He says it in the movie. So when they were writing it, they even knew, oh man, this doesn't make any sense. But we're gonna do it anyway. Swink gets chased by a carriage again.
What's with the carriage?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. You know what? They gotta have some wheels for the Countess because she can't be driving around a car.
Okay, you know, it's like when you do homework and it's like you get to a question and it's like, oh man, I must have skipped this. Like when I got to the kill with Swink and the carriage chasing him, I go, oh man, I must have not been watching this as good as I thought because the carriage is really important. I am so relieved to hear that no, it's just dog shit.
There was probably a little bit of lore in there somewhere, and I was laughing too hard to really pay attention.
but we can both agree. It's not
we
like
don't know.
The carriage, it's like the carriage. There's nothing scary about a video game carriage.
No.
There's nothing scary.
No.
I don't.
No. I agree with that. I agree.
But yeah, Slink, keep going, man.
So Swink runs into the woods, trips and falls, of course, sees the carriage roll up. He's in a rose garden, which roses should stop everything, and it cuts away. The next thing you see, Hutch and Abigail get to the van. They look on the computer screen. What does it show? It shows Swink being dead. It says you died over Swink's character. He's dead.
He's definitely dead, 100%.
But they don't show it. So it must have been too rated R for this PG film, right? Right?
And so I'm like, cool, here comes the big finale. Nah, there's still 20 minutes.
There is 20 minutes left of this movie.
God.
Hutch and Abigail are going into the graveyard to get to the tower to find the Countess's body, to put nails in it and catch her on fire and finish it. It should have been 3 minutes left.
I know.
No.
This dumbass couple, they get lost in the catacombs, and here comes the shit.
They're throwing down roses like it's candy.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Just dropping roses. Only got 3 roses, and they're just flinging them around.
They get separated, and Abigail and Hutch have this romantic moment, even though they've known each other for about 17 hours.
Yeah, they've already kissed.
Yeah.
I thought Hutch was in a relationship with October.
Yeah.
If he was, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She's dead, moving on.
Yeah, I was like, shouldn't they be? Aren't they romantically interested?
Not anymore.
And the thing is, I didn't realize because I thought that Hutch and October were brother and sister until 70% of the way through.
Yeah,
because I had misheard her at the bar because the way she says, "Oh, leave my brother alone," but she doesn't when she is talking to Hutch.
Yeah.
It's Phineas is her brother. But yeah, again, Abigail should be either dead or the villain.
Yep.
This is rewrites. It has to be.
But it's okay because Hutch leaves her the final rose. And you know that Abigail's going to use it at the right moment to stop whatever's coming at her, right?
Yeah, it's like a grenade to save for the last second. Okay, yeah.
So it makes sense on why she would play He Loves Me Not with the final rose that she has, right?
Oh yeah, just tear it to pieces and throw the petals down one by one.
While crying.
Will you love
While
me?
crying.
You love me not. Ugh.
Hutch gets upstairs, finds the Countess's body. It's pristine.
Yeah.
It's not rotted, nothing.
It was disturbing to me that they made an actual Countess actress with makeup because they've been using a digitized video game version of the Countess even in the real life counterpart scenarios, which is so frustrating because they're capable of practicality. He starts hammering nails in her and it's kind of cool. And the nail hammering is happening, and I was just like, why would they not just use the practical? Because the makeup's
it's decent.
It's better than the digital.
It's passable.
Yes, it's better than the digital version. And why go through all this work of conceiving it if not just to make it? He's hammering her, and then she wakes up and she forces the nails out of her forehead. That was the only part of the movie I liked.
Oh, how it came out. And
yeah, she kind of just goes, and then the nail goes, and falls out of her head. And then she has this big scream, and they do this prosthetic jaw that drops out. And I was like, that looks pretty cool, for what's happening.
It looks ridiculous.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's good. It's good for a PG-13 piece of crap. And then we get it. I was like, hell yeah, I knew it was coming. He burning her up. and he has to overcome his childhood trauma of his abusive father who burnt him and his mother almost alive.
Yeah.
Earlier in the movie, this huge trauma dump.
There's no hope. Nobody's going to come to save him, right?
Yeah. He's gonna die.
Except for Swink and Abigail kick down the door, and Swink, still wrapped in roses, throws a rose in the room to get him out of there, and you watch the Countess die. Now, you might be sitting there going, hey, Greyson, didn't the movie say if you die in the game, you die in real life? Yeah, I did. And yes, it does. But it doesn't matter again because they've changed the rules again. It's a third time.
Let's just recap just to make Greyson feel good. So the rule is you die in the game, you die in real life.
Correct.
But if you pause the game, you will also die.
Correct.
In real life. In real life, when you're not playing,
that's
you'll
correct.
die. You'll die. But then again, if you're not playing the game will play itself for you.
Yes.
And then you'll die in real life.
That is also correct.
But then again, if you die in the game, you survive in real life.
Only if you're Frankie Muniz. Yes, that is the rules of this movie. If you wanted it to be this way, why wouldn't the Countess just kill them all when they went to sleep? If the game is still going, then just kill them all. Bam, you're done.
Just the fact that, like, whenever I always like to think about that scene in Wedding Crashers when Owen Wilson comes in and he's talking to Chaz and he's like, your mom's here and like you come down and that girl and the TV's playing. I don't know what to think, man. That's me trying to follow these game rules. I'm like, he dies in real life, but he paused and he died anyway. And
you know what it feels like? It feels like this movie gaslights you for an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's every time you question it, they go, no, man, look at this.
Yeah.
No, you just misheard me. That's all it was.
It'd be like Fight Club if Brad Pitt was like, the rules are, if this is your first night, you have to fight. Only if you want to, though. Actually, you can't. You're not allowed to fight on the first night.
And then 30 minutes later, he goes on national news talking about Fight Club. That's what it is.
You do not talk about Fight Club. And then he's doing an interview with Peter Jennings.
I was so frustrated when Frankie Muniz came through the door because I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew as soon as
since they didn't show it, he'll show up. Yeah.
I looked at Tiff and I said, he's going to come in at the end. He's going to save them at the end. Even though he's dead on the screen, he's going to come and save them.
But in the game, you said he was what?
Dead. Dead. You couldn't be more dead than Frankie Muniz.
Yeah. I think it's like, and so at this point, it's like, you know, big fat zero. Just negative 100% crap movie, right? And then, just to like, slap you in the face and call you a dipshit. They get out, you know, they're safe, whatever. We get back to the GameStop with this really messed up interpretation of a game clerk.
Yeah.
There's a shipment there. And luckily, we know exactly who made this video game, Greyson.
We sure do.
Would you like to tell the audience with the big reveal as who made the game?
Yeah, I sure will.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know who made the game. Who made this game?
We don't know.
Who made it? Who made it? And who shipped copies to the game store? Is it internationally shipped? Because he opens the box and there's hundreds of copies of Stay Alive. We don't know who made it. We don't know who shipped it. Who's distributing? Who's the publisher? If it's an underground game he never heard of, why is it showing up on store shelves? You mean to tell me a clerk at a GameStop would not know of an upcoming release? They know every fucking game that's coming out. And he goes, oh, huh, pretty cool, huh? And then they start stocking this thing. It's like, how much does it cost? Are there QR codes on it? What's the SKU? What's the SKU on it?
Doesn't matter.
What's the SKU? How do they stock a game made by Ghost? Must be an underground game.
You know what? I think I know who made it.
Who's that?
After the box is opened up, you get a glimpse on the shelves, and the cover story to Game Informer is "Stay Alive." Game Informer did it.
Ziff Davis Media. Those motherfuckers.
Game Informer got us.
Ziff Davis.
Game Informer did it. That's who did it. It's Game Informer. I knew it.
And it's just like, oh no, everybody's gonna play Stay Alive and then die. Or they'll look at the cover of you look at the cover of the game, you die in real life.
Mm-hmm. You read it, you die in real life.
You play any game, you die in real life.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Wait. You don't play any games?
You still die.
You die.
But if you die in the game and it shows that you're dead, but you're in a rose garden, it'll show your avatar being dead, but you'll be alive in real life, but you'll have roses on you. So you can stop the person from dying, or the person from killing people. That's the rules. You see, I figured it out. Why couldn't you?
Why is Frankie Muniz 14 and hanging out with these adults in college? Why is he with them? It felt like The Room with what's the kid, Ducky, Davy, or what? I don't remember.
I don't remember. I think it's Dave.
Yeah, Dave, and it's like they're like, how old is that kid? Why is he hanging out with?
No, I think it is Ducky. I don't remember.
But like, it's that weird little kid's like, why is he here? Like,
Yeah.
why are they friends with this little kid?
Throwing the football, man. Hanging out.
I think it is a 0, but a spectacular time.
Here's what I will say. I think this movie is a 3.
A 3
out of 10.
Uh-huh.
Of course. Do I think it's good? No, not at all. Would I recommend people watch this? Yes, absolutely I would. This movie is the best time you could ever have with a group of friends. There's got to be a drinking game for this.
Oh my God, yes.
Like, there has to be some kind of drinking game to make from this, because it is so crazy that it has to have it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you got a lifelong gamer friend, you got a friend that's coming in from out of town. All y'all want to do is get torqued out of your gourd. Mm-hmm. You wanna do some bong rips all night and just do it while you're watching Stay Alive.
Just remember the rules. You die in the game, you die in real life. If you pause the game, you still die, because the game's always going.
Mm-hmm.
But if you also die in the game and it shows that you're dead on the screen, you're still alive, though.
Don't forget, though, if you don't play the game at all, the game will play itself for you, and then you'll die.
True. If you remember those rules, you too will be able to stay alive.
Baby!
Thanks.
Hell yeah!
Thanks, Cactus Jack.
That was awesome. If you like gaming content, make sure and go to patreon.com/hangtime, where you can support our gaming efforts, and right here on Carnage Candy, our horror efforts. Mm-hmm. Also, go watch our review of Leprechaun, because we had such a great time talking about it.
Yeah, we did. That's 2 for 2 on just the best times you can have with horror movies, let me tell you.
My Lord.
I can't wait for us to do more 2000s horror movies, Shaun. This is going to be a good time.
And stay tuned for our Why 2000 Horror Sucks So Bad coming soon. We'll see you later on Carnage Candy.
Goodbye, everybody!